Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 20 video, and in today's episode, as you can see, we are going to be rebuilding the Jacksonville Jaguars with Minshew Magic here. And Gardner Minshew, before, no one really expected him to be that late round of a pick and perform that good for his rookie year. Benching Nick Foles. Nick Foles did recently get cut. No, he got traded to the Bears because the Bears were the only team willing to take on his cap, which is pretty insane to me. Many Bears fans were sad about that, but at least they don't have to deal with Mitch Trubisky anymore. So, other than that, let's get into the rebuild. In the rebuild here, obviously, our leader is Gardner Minshew. Pretty amazing quarterback for his rookie season. DJ Chark here and Leonard Fournette. And Gardner Minshew, looking into it, 76 overall star development or better, but mostly star development. Leonard Fournette has kind of fell off a cliff ever since a few years ago, so he's still an overall solid running back, as Tyler Eifert is here, who is super injury prone, but whenever he's healthy is a great tight end. And defensively, we have Josh Allen here, and I think Tyler Bryant is Yannick Ngakoue. I'm going to move Melvin up because he has star development. And also, where is Kayvon Chassion? He's supposed to be around here somewhere, and CJ Henderson is supposed to be around here somewhere. Kayvon Chassion is the thumbnail, so I'm going to have to find that later. But for now, it is time to get into the trades. For the first trade, we have our left guard and middle linebacker Joe Schobert for a first and a fifth from the Bengals, because Joe Schobert and the left guard both just took up cap. Next, we have Tyler Eifert and our defensive tackle for Christian Kirk and a fourth. Christian Kirk is going to be a great receiver us for DJ Chark and D.D. Westbrook. Next, this is what the team looks like, as there's no upgrades at all. There's just stripping the team other than Christian Kirk, who is an upgrade, for a third string wide receiver. And as you can see, I did find CJ Henderson and Kayvon Chassion. I both just gave them star. So other than that, this is kind of a tank season, and I just picked up a lot of picks, so it's time to get into the midseason mark. Here at the midseason mark, we are coming off a loss to the Jets, as we are 4-4, and we are second in the division behind the Tennessee Titans, who are 5-3, and we have contracts to get into, such as Yannick Ngakoue. For starters, Yannick Ngakoue and Madden free agency whenever you don't play as the Jaguars. So we're going to make sure that we keep him. He wants 12 mil, which is a lot, but he resigns. Leonard Fournette is also here, and we do need to resign him, so I will also resign him as well. And he resigns. Larry Warford is also here. Right guard, yeah, I will sign him as well. And DJ Hayden, I do not want. He's too old. Chris Thompson, no. D.D. Westbrook is a definite yes. He's a receiver, though he's quite expensive for his development and overall. But we're still going to re-sign him because we do need him. And other than that, there's no one else here that I want, including Rashawn Melvin. There's some rookies here that I need to change. But other than that, it is time to get into the playoffs. Here in the playoffs, as we did not make it, coming off a win to the Indianapolis Colts 17-14, as we are 8-8 behind the 9-7 Texans, as Gardner Minshew had a great season, top 10 in both touchdowns and passing yards. And to get into the rest of the stats, Gardner Minshew with 13 picks, which is a little bit too much. Leonard Fournette had a solid season. DJ Chark had a great season, over 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Defensively, Shaquille Quarterman with the most tackles. Tackles for a loss, it goes to 20 for Taven Bryan, which is a lot. Sacks, 10 for Josh Allen. Interceptions, 2 for Ronnie Harrison. Safeties, 0. Defensive touchdowns, 0. So, other than that, it is time to get into the offseason. We need to make moves in free agency. In the offseason, as the Cowboys win the Super Bowl 28-21 against the Buffalo Bills, we have DJ Hayden here and everyone else here, who I said I didn't want before. So, again, yeah, I don't want any of these guys. So, let's just look at what the team looks like, see if we got any Super Bowl upgrades. And from what I can see, nothing but other than DJ Chark, who is here, and Christian Kirk developed a lot faster than I thought he would. And Taven Bryan is here, or Tyler Bryan, however you say his first name, I didn't really see it, and Miles Jack as well. Both superstar players, and it's time to get into free agency. Here, after free agency, this is what the team looks like. No real improvements on the offensive line. or on the offense in general, but defensively we did get Shaq Barrett and Desmond King and Chibuike Awuzie, who's always in free agency and always an easy pickup. So, other than that, it is time to get into the draft. After the draft, this is what the team looks like, as we did end up picking a left tackle and a left guard, who are both pretty solid overall. Defensively, we picked up a free safety, and that's really about it. Other players are just depth, and we don't really need to talk about those guys. So other than that, it is time to get into the midseason mark. Here in the midseason mark, as we were coming off a loss to the Texans 28-21, as we were 4-3, third in the division behind the Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. We got players to re-sign, such as DJ Chark and Christian Kirk. DJ Chark Jr., we're obviously going to need to re-sign him. 23 years old, superstar development, 84 overall. He does re-sign. Christian Kirk, 80 overall, star development. We do want him back. These guys are look pretty cheaper than D.D. Westbrook, but Ronnie Harrison is here, and he's pretty cheap as well. He's actually very cheap. Safeties seem to go pretty cheap in the NFL, apparently. And other than that, Ronnie Harrison, I don't know why he's actually here, because he's supposed to be on a 4-year deal. But I guess not. I don't really know what I want to do with Ronnie Harrison. I guess we picked him up in free agency or something like that. But, yeah, I guess I'll just give him this deal. So, yeah, offer is perfect. He stays. Leon Jacobs is here. I don't think I would have any interest for him. So, other than all those players being re-signed and not re-signed, it is time to get into the playoffs. Here in the playoffs, as we get a first-round bye, coming off a win to the Indianapolis Colts, 14-10, as we are at the top of the division, finishing 11-5. Gardner Minshew, top 10 in passing yards and touchdowns, 10th in both. Offensively, we are 15th. Defensively, we were the best in the NFL. Gardner Minshew, I think, had a better season than last season, less interceptions. Leonard Fournette had a pretty solid season. Christian Kirk had a great season, over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Defensively, Kayvon Chassion with 119 tackles. Tackles for a loss, 14 for Taven Bryan. Sacks, 6.5 for Josh Allen. Interceptions, 4 for Miles Jack. Safeties is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So, other than that, it is time to get into the playoffs, and we're just going to sim right away to see who we're going to be playing in the divisional round. This is only the 2020 season, so I'm not going to worry about jumping in. So, if we make it next year, I'll jump in, but for right now, I'm not going to jump in unless we make it into the conference championship. So, yeah, let's see who we are going to be playing as... Oh, yeah, we were playing the Bengals. That's my bad. I didn't see that before. I was off rambling. But we are here to play the Browns now. And I'm just going to... Yeah, I guess I'll jump in and just see how it goes. But, yeah, again, we beat the Bengals 23-20. I don't know why I didn't see that before. I guess I was just rambling off constantly. So, let's just jump straight into this and stop wasting time by me talking. And let's get to the good stuff. Here we are in the second quarter. 3 minutes left, 14-7 as we are up against the Cleveland Browns. It is 21-14 now as the Browns strike right back after us scoring. The Browns are driving down the field again, 21-21 as we are choking a 21-7 lead. It is 21-4. Not 21-4, it's 24-21. Now it's 28-24, which is a bummer. And I'm just going to jump in here real quick. And here we are, 41-24. It wasn't going to work out. I knew it wasn't going to work out. So that's why I resumed the recording right here. And it is time to get into the offseason. Now, for the first move in the offseason, we are trading our right guard in Vita Vea for Vita Vea and a 5th-round pick for from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, yeah, good trade for the start of the offseason. Now, as you can see in the offseason, after we did that very important trade, we are here to re-sign some players, and Vita Vea is not here, so that's a good thing, and I don't want any of these guys here. So, yeah, let's get into what the team looks like real quick. As Gardner Minshew got superstar development, which is amazing for us. Inside Deadeye and Conductor are his superstar abilities, with Christian Kirk as a superstar as well. Slot Apprentice is his ability. And Specialist, I'm going to keep him in the slot since he has Slot Apprentice. Defensively, we are looking good. though for some reason Vita Vea isn't showing up, as Miles Jack is a superstar X Factor, so I guess, I don't know why Vita Vea isn't showing up. I guess it'll show up after the draft, so let's get into free agency. After free agency, this is what the team looks like, as we made huge upgrades on the offensive line, getting Ryan Ramczyk and Orlando Brown Jr. and Evan Ingram, a tight end that we desperately needed throughout this rebuild. And also, as you can see, there's Vita Vea. And we also got Leighton Vander Esch, who is a huge addition to the team. So other than that, it is time to get into the draft. After the draft, this is what the team looks like, as we ended up picking up a depth halfback in the second round, I believe it was, and a right guard, which I do believe we need, but he wasn't really in the draft. And we picked up a rotational receiver, and I'm going to end up trading D.D. Westbrook. And defensively, not much other than that, so it's time to get into some trades. Trading D.D. Westbrook for Patrick Ricard and a 5th round pick from the Ravens. I just wanted a fullback just for kicks, I guess. And D.D. Westbrook took up more caps than any of my other receivers. Next, this is what we are looking like in the midseason mark against the Texans, who we did beat 28-21, and we are top of the division, 5-2. So pretty good stuff, as we have Vita Vea here and Patrick Ricard to resign. Obviously, we're going to want to bring both of them back since they're not even one-year players yet on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Vita Vea, he wants a pretty big contract for his overall. He doesn't even accept it. And some of these players like CJ Henderson shouldn't be here, so I need to fix that, and it's time to get into the playoffs. Here in the playoffs, as we beat the Indianapolis Colts 26-21, and we have a first round bye back-to-back years, finishing 11-5 again. Looking into the stats, Gardner Minshew 13th in passing yards, 1st in passing touchdowns, 23rd best offense, 12th best defense. I think us having the 23rd best offense is because of Leonard Fournette. Just hasn't been performing well. Though only 6 interceptions and 43 touchdowns is amazing for Gardner Minshew. Leonard Fournette did not had a solid season, actually a pretty good season. Miles Jack, most tackles on the team. Tackles for a loss, 11 for Miles Jack. Sacks, 7 for Josh Allen. Interceptions, 4 for Chibuike Awuzie. Safeties, 1 for Vita Vea. Defensive touchdowns, 0. So other than that, it is time to just advance to the divisional, and I will be hopping into the divisional round because I do not want us to lose, and I want to make sure we actually make it to the Super Bowl this year, as we are facing the 10-6 Buffalo Bills, as we are 11-5. So we will be playing at home, and let's just jump straight into this, and I will see you guys whenever we get into the game. Here we are into the game, 17-21, as we are driving down the field in the third quarter. It is now 24-17 after that field goal. And 24-24, we're in the red zone. We score again, 31-31. Very tight game. I'm going to hop in here to make sure that we win it, and I will see you guys whenever we do. So here we are in the final 2 seconds, as we are going to kick the field goal, and we are on the 1-yard line because of a lucky catch from DJ Chark, as they're going to ice the kicker, and this should be a chip shot field goal. So again, we should win. 18-yard field goal kick should be perfect for Josh Lambo. And it's up, and it is good. That is clear, straight down the pipe. 41-38 will be the end of your ball game. So as you guys can see, we do take home the win against Josh Allen, winning 41-38 as your final score. So let's jump in, see who we're going to be playing in the championship. Here we are in the conference championship is what I meant to say, and we are facing the 14-2 Cleveland Browns, who knocked us out of the playoffs last year in the conference championship as well. So hopefully we can beat them, as they have Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb. That's weird. Here we are in the third quarter, as we are up 17-7, and we are now up 24-7. And don't just get your hopes up yet, because last year we choked a 21-7 lead, but now it's 31-15. So now I actually am getting my hopes up that we could win this, as we are driving downfield and they are driving downfield. 34-22 is your final score. They did end up coming back from a 31-3 lead, so that was pretty worrying, but we won it. The end result is what matters, and it's time to get into the Super Bowl. Here we are in the Super Bowl facing off against the 9-7 Washington Redskins. The Washington Redskins versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I never thought I would hear that ever in my life in the Super Bowl. And Gardner Minshew now has Superstar X Factor as his Super Bowl upgrade with Pro Reads, Inside Deadeye Conductor, and he's missing 2 ability slots because Madden won't give him it. I don't know why. That's glitched up. Evan Ingram is also here with that Superstar X Factor with Rack 'em Up and Streak Specialist, which is pretty insane. He started with, he started with Star Development at the beginning of the season. He had a breakout challenge, and now he has that. So that's pretty amazing, and it's time to get into the Super Bowl. Now here in the Super Bowl, as it is 3-0 in the first quarter, going into the second quarter is 6-0. Redskins are up, and we go down the field, and it is now 6-7, low-scoring game, nothing special as you can see. 6-14, big field goal kick, we get it. 6-17 as we continue to bag it on. 20-6, and they are in the red zone. 13-20, and they are just a score within it. So I'm gonna hop in here to make sure that they don't win it. And we'll see you guys in the end. But before we get into the end, I wanted to show this really cool play that kind of just salted the game away. I see DJ Chark pressed up. I throw it to him deep downfield. He catches it, and it is a perfect ball. And that will end out your game, as I do end up scoring a touchdown after that play. 27-13, as the Redskins do have Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback, number 6. And yeah, this is a pretty hype moment, and it is time to get into the MVP. Although that was a pretty cool pass, so I just had to show it. So here's the MVP. Your MVP, Gardner Minshew, over 300 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, and 69% completion rate. Nice. And other than that, that will end out this Super Bowl. And I still have one more season to play. And I think I'm just going to simulate the draft, simulate free agency, because we really don't need to do anything, because this team is absolutely godly. So, again, yeah, let's get into that. Here in the offseason, as we beat the Redskins 27-13 in the Super Bowl, obviously, Vita Vea is here, and we do need to re-sign him, so hopefully we can re-sign him. 86 overall, Star Development. He is excited to stay with the team. And other than that, I don't want anyone here, so it's time to get into free agency. And in free agency, we don't have any money, so on that note, it is also time to get into the draft, and I don't even think I want to do the draft because we already won the Super Bowl, so it doesn't matter. And as we are here about to simulate the draft, I just want to show you guys that I am going to simulate the draft. But before we do that, we are looking in the team to see if there's anything we really need. We need a right guard, but I don't want to go in the draft to do that. So again, yeah, I'm just going to simulate the draft. And this is what the team looks like after the draft. There's no real upgrades on offense or defense. So it's just some bunch of random depth players. So let's get into the midseason mark. Here in the midseason mark, as we're coming off a loss to the Redskins 20-14, as we are 3-4. That doesn't make any sense with Gardner Minshew as our quarterback, and we are bottom of the division. That makes no sense at all. But I don't care because we already won Super Bowl, and I don't need to re-sign any of these players because this is the last season. So let's see if we can magically make the playoffs and magically win the Super Bowl. As we don't win the Super Bowl or get in the playoffs, as we're coming off a win to the Texans 21-17. Looking into the stats, we are bottom of the division, 6-10. To go from Super Bowl winners to 6-10, that's a pretty hard drop off. Gardner Minshew had a solid season. Offensively, we were 21st. Defensively, we were 10th. And Minshew had a lot of picks. Leonard Fournette had like an ass season. Christian Kirk had a great season. Defensively, we had 126 tackles for Miles Jack, 23 tackles for a loss for Vita Vea, 7.5 sacks for Shaq Barrett, interceptions 3 for Leighton Vander Esch, and safeties is 0, defensive touchdowns 0. So, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed rebuilding it as much as I did, and I'm going to simulate to the Super Bowl just to see if we have any upgrades. So, yeah, this is basically what the team looks like after everything we've done to this team, and this was a pretty great rebuild. I did very much so enjoy it. I will be rebuilding the Patriots next. I know that's kind of a jump. I usually do this stuff in ABC order, but someone commented that they did want the Patriots, so I will be doing the Patriots next, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.